don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop.
Causes of leukemia. The cause for most cases of leukemia is unknown. The different leukemias likely have different causes. One leukemia, like other cancers, results from mutations in the DNA. 2. Certain mutations can trigger leukemia by activating oncogenes or deactivating tumor suppressor genes, thereby disrupting the regulation of cell death, differentiation, or division. These mutations may occur spontaneously or as a result of exposure to radiation or carcinogenic substances. 3. Among adults, the known causes are natural and artificial ionizing radiation, a few viruses such as human T-lymphotropic virus, and some chemicals, notably benzene, and alkylating chemotherapy agents for previous malignancies. 4. Use of tobacco is associated with a small increase in the risk of developing acute myeloid leukemia in adults. 5. Cohort and case control studies have linked exposure to some petrochemicals and hair dyes to the development of some forms of leukemia. 6. Diet has very limited or no effect, although eating more vegetables may confer a small protective benefit. 7. Viruses have also been linked to some forms of leukemia. For example, human T-lymphotropic virus, HTLV1, causes adult T-cell leukemia. 8. A few cases of maternal-fetal transmission, a baby acquires leukemia because its mother had leukemia during the pregnancy, have been reported. 9. Children born to mothers who use fertility drugs to induce ovulation are more than twice as likely to develop leukemia during their childhoods than other children. 10. Radiation. Large doses of Senior-90 emission from nuclear reactor accidents, nicknamed bone seeker, increases the risk of bone cancer and leukemia in animals, and is presumed to do so in people. 11. Genetic conditions. Some people have a genetic predisposition towards developing leukemia. This predisposition is demonstrated by family histories and twin studies. The affected people may have a single gene or multiple genes in common. In some cases, families tend to develop the same kinds of leukemia as other members. In other families, affected people may develop different forms of leukemia or related blood cancers. In addition to these genetic issues, people with chromosomal abnormalities or certain other genetic conditions have a greater risk of leukemia. For example, people with Down syndrome have a significantly increased risk of developing forms of acute leukemia, especially acute myeloid leukemia, and Fanconi anemia is a risk factor for developing acute myeloid leukemia. Mutation in SPRED1 gene has been associated with a predisposition to childhood leukemia. Chronic myelogenous leukemia is associated with a genetic abnormality called the Philadelphia translocation. 95% of people with CML carry the Philadelphia mutation, although this is not exclusive to CML and can be observed in people with other types of leukemia. 12. Non-ionizing radiation. Whether or not non-ionizing radiation causes leukemia has been studied for several decades. The International Agency for Research on Cancer Expert Working Group undertook a detailed review of all data on static and extremely low-frequency electromagnetic energy, which occurs naturally and in association with the generation, transmission, and use of electrical power. They concluded that there is limited evidence that high levels of ELF magnetic, but not electric, fields might cause some cases of childhood leukemia. No evidence for a relationship to leukemia or another form of malignancy in adults has been demonstrated.